Hello, everybody. I'm Beth Troutman. This is the show that's all about great videos and the stories behind them right this minute. Mid-air emergency as a skydiver frantically tries to fix his equipment while falling fast.
He's still struggling with that strap, but then all of a sudden, watch this.
What happened to save him not a moment too soon? A Florida cop has no warning when a car comes out of nowhere and
slams into his patrol car.
See the incredible video inside the rollover and the miracle that came out of the wreckage.
You all right?
A mom is mortified when a thief takes a bag of
special goodies for a bachelorette party.
I've been storing it in my trunk because I have 2 little ones.
Wait till you hear about filing the police report.
It was horrible. He kind of started laughing.
Plus, 9 puppies are rescued.
Poor baby.
And 2 sharks steal a fisherman's catch out from under them.
Whoa! You got them both.
Time to get nervous because we've got ourselves another skydiving mishap. This one starts with a group of experienced-looking skydivers doing a group jump. They got their legs locked. Eventually, the guy whose camera we're with, he breaks off from the group. As he starts plummeting down, you can see him checking his altimeter to figure out, how high he is and when I should pull my chute. And then he keeps checking it, keeps checking it, keeps checking it, and when he checks, looks like the 3rd time, notices, what's that right there? That's his chest strap. That is not connected. I don't know if it came undone during the fall or if it was undone before he jumped. Maybe he forgot to check. Now look at this. As he's falling, he's trying to get his strap together and he's falling fast. He's still struggling with that strap, not getting it, but then all of a sudden, watch this. You see some chute goes off, that's his AAD. The AAD is the automatic activation device. A lot of times connected to the reserve chute or your main chute, which will open up at a specific time or altitude. In this case, it engaged the chute at 600 feet above the ground. He still doesn't have the chest strap connected. Not strapped in, messes with that chest strap again. You can hear when he hits the ground, he was a little shocked.
Wow, it's not even like it was kind of hooked. That whole thing wasn't looped through, strapped in, buckled up. It was just hanging on him like a backpack.
This video in just a few seconds is going to prove that seatbelts really do save lives. This is in Jupiter, Florida, and Jupiter police officer Jason Starks is driving down the I-95 in his marked car. Doesn't look like there's much traffic on the road, but suddenly he swerves quickly out of the lane he's in because a car comes out of nowhere, slams into his patrol car, and sends him off the road, and he starts rolling.
Where the heck did that guy come from? Was he just speeding up from behind?
Well, apparently the guy driving the car fell asleep at the wheel. He picked up speed, ended up slamming into the concrete wall, and then ricocheted into the way of the police officer, sending him rolling. And you clearly hear the officer then asking the other driver if he's okay.
You all right? You all right?
He did roll multiple times, but because he was wearing his seatbelt and the airbag, he was fine. He was taken to the hospital, but suffered only minor bruises and sores on his body.
What about the other guy? Any idea of what condition he's in?
Well, believe it or not, he got away without a scratch, but he was given a minor traffic citation.
When you're in Los Angeles and you have a kitten fall between the walls of your home, who do you call? Los Angeles Animal Services. And who do they call in? They call in SMART. That's the Specialized Mobile Animal Rescue Team. First, you see them here drilling a 1.5-inch hole in the wall because they're sticking in a camera to find out where that kitten actually is, because once they cut a bigger hole in the wall, they need to make sure that they don't hurt the kitten.
Oh, his little face is
Yeah.
smashed in there. Wow, he's really wedged in tight.
That cat had been in the wall for 4 days. By the time Smart shows up, they bring the kitten out. It's an orange tabby.
Probably starving at this point. 4 days stuck in a wall.
But guess what? They came back 2 days later because another kitten was found in the attic. You can see that is a tight space, and you know attics can get pretty warm. So this kitten rescue was executed with a little bit less technical equipment, but as you can see there, this is a little gray kitten, and they are both available for adoption for anybody in the LA area. But wait, you got 2 kittens. How about some puppies? These puppies were found under a house in LA.
Alrighty now. Let's get you out of there, huh? Shall we?
9 puppies.
Oh, man.
1 baby. 2 baby. 8 baby. 9, dude. They're little guys. They're barely opening their eyes.
Oh, did
They're
they
tiny.
reunite puppies with mom?
Of course they reunited, Mama.
That's it. 9 of them. Wow.
These puppies are also available for adoption from Los Angeles Animal Services.
A thief has been breaking into multiple cars in one Oregon neighborhood, and it's caused quite an embarrassing situation for one woman. The woman you're seeing is Chelsea Coots. Chelsea's car was broken into, but she had some very special goodies for a bachelorette party. So she had more than $500 worth of goodies.
Like penis-shaped stuff.
No, they're adult toys.
You're probably wondering, okay, well, why did Chelsea keep all of this stuff in her car trunk?
I've been storing it in my trunk because I have 2 little ones and didn't want them to see all the dirty things in there.
She didn't want her young children to find these items, but she had been collecting them over several months. But that's not the really bad part about this story. Remember I said this caused an embarrassing situation? Well, of course, when these people or this person started breaking into all of these cars, the victims had to fill out extensive police reports.
I thought she was putting like lost item posters up on the telephone pole.
He asked me to describe everything just in detail and like colors, and then he asked, it was just horrible.
It is funny that the thief still took it. Like, you know, whoever it was opened it up and was like, well, it was exactly what I was going for, but okay.
This gets even more fascinating. People in the community felt bad for Chelsea Coots and the bride-to-be, so they started a Facebook page, and they've already gotten donations, not of money, but of items.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
new.
Sealed, triple sealed.
Can't reuse a lot of that stuff.
I don't know. I didn't get that detail. A horseback ride turns scary when the ground starts taking them down.
Suddenly, you see one of the people just really start sinking and going down really, really fast.
Why they needed to act quickly to make it out. And a service member gets a special welcome home.
This is the moment that he is reuniting with his puppy, Sierra.
Why no amount of time can stand in the way of puppy love.
It's not every day we get to talk about a rescue from quicksand, but this is one from the RNLI right after they saved a 14-year-old girl in Morecambe Bay in the UK. You can see them pulling her out on what looks like a stretcher. The RNLI had to use a hovercraft called the Hurley Flyer to get her out of this quicksand. She was waist deep in this quicksand. Apparently she was walking along the sands with some friends close to the shore, and that's when she became trapped. The RNLI came in for the rescue. We're sort of just seeing post-rescue as they're taking her to safety. But another video shows us how quickly quicksand can cause some serious problems. Why it's called quicksand. Watch this video from Dave Wisniewski from back in April. Shows some people on horseback riding along some shallow waters, and then watch this. Suddenly, you see one of the people on one of the horses just really start sinking and going down really fast. You gotta act quick in rescues like these. Here it is again in slow motion. You see the person on the horse starting to head back to the shore, but then all of a sudden just really really starts going down and starts going down fast.
Whenever I think of quicksand, I think of somewhere in the jungle. I never thought like right there on the ocean or right there on the shoreline of a lake.
Well, and the big thing to remember, if you do end up in quicksand, you're just going to end up sinking further and further the more you struggle.
Well, that's very difficult when you're on the back of the horse, because a horse isn't going to sit still if it can't move its legs. So it's pretty amazing that the man and the horse were able to get out on their own.
It is true that dogs are man's best friend, and they are also the most excited to see you when you come back from an 11-month deployment to Afghanistan.
Okay. Go see your puppy.
So this service member just came back from Afghanistan, and this is the moment that he is reuniting with his puppy, Sierra.
Good job. Hi. Who's that? Is that Daddy? Is that Daddy?
Now you notice that there is snow outside. That's because the video was recorded back in March. The video was just now uploaded to the Welcome Home blog in May.
And she's got an American flag sweater on too. I like that.
She's precious, but get this. When he left to Afghanistan, she was less than a year old. And they haven't seen each other, and she's almost 2 years old. So the fact that she still remembers him is pretty special.
Yeah.
See the love in her face.
There's a brand new show premiering on TLC. It's called The Goodbye Girls, and that's by B-U-Y. It stars these two adorable ladies, Brooke Roberts and Tara Gray.
Brooke and I work together, we live together, we're best friends. We're inseparable.
They are both former beauty queens. They now work for DSN, Direct Shopping Network.
Hello.
Hey.
And they want better products. They want more products.
If we're going to venture out and really sell new consumer products, we have to make sure they're good and that they really are BT approved.
And they're testing these products in their home.
The enclosed shower tan instructions should be read completely before initial use.
These ladies do seem pretty fearless when it comes to testing all kinds of products.
Stack the nozzle post.
Oh, this can't be good.
You gotta drink as she goes in.
Face forward. When you hit the step, I'm gonna read 5 seconds.
I'm supposed to do this?
Yes.
Is that the tanner?
That's the tanner!
Oh no.
But she's wearing her clothes, so now she's gonna have a weird tan.
Oh, no.
These are the risks you run if you're testing products to sell on DSN.
It's in my mouth.
To tell us more about what we can expect from this new show, we have Brooke Roberts and Tara Gray via Skype right this minute. Now tell us what all the show is really about. I'm sure it's not just testing products. What are you hoping to accomplish with the show?
Well, I think it's an inside look at World Home Shopping, and nobody really gets to see how stressful it is. You know, you're 5 minutes there, you're 30 seconds there, and you're trying to run around and put together a set.
Do you realize we have been on air for an hour and have not sold one thing?
I think we're just trying to revolutionize the world of home shopping. Make it fun, make it entertaining, and show people that we're not just hosts to get a signed product. We are hosts that believe in what we're selling, and that's what we want to convey. Really sell what we use.
How many of the products that you test actually work the way they're promised to work?
I'd say 8 times out of 10 they don't. It doesn't do what it promises to do, and that's the problem with infomercials, home shopping, or just commercials in general. So we're your go-to girls to truly test it, and then we don't sell it if it doesn't work.
Oh, that's awesome. So you're like consumer protectors out there.
Exactly!
The Goodbye Girls premieres Wednesday, June 5th at 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Central on TLC. See the baby photos that have got the web going.
That's great.
He digitally incorporates her into very adult situations.
Oh, I love that one. See all this baby can do. Next, right this minute. And still to come, a high school football player shows off his long snapping skills with some trick shots.
Whoa! Nailed that right in the garbage can, and he's just getting started.
See what other shots he's got in store. Plus, a dog gets all domesticated in this video.
This is the kind of dog I'd like to have.
So they decided to share this video with their family members, except there's a surprise.
Find out what his clever cleanup is really about.
A trophy catch turned into chum off the side of this boat. This Rapala fisherman's got a huge tarpon on the line. He's reeling the catch of the day in. He's quite proud of of what he's got on the other side of that fishing pole, but
Whoa!
the sharks turn it into their dinner.
We got a shark and a tarpon.
2 bull sharks identified by the guys on this boat just rip this thing to shreds mercilessly. Now there's the tarpon, and before long, it's like he's in a blender.
It's like a now you see it, now you don't kind of thing.
Yeah, you can see blood in the water starting.
Oh yeah, it turns into a big bloody mess. It's just now a tug of war between the bull sharks and this fisherman.
Not gonna win that one.
No, and the guys on the boat are like, keep your hands away from the side of the boat.
Keep your hands feet away from
Oh, look at the poor tarpon's face. His head comes up at one point and he's staring at the fisherman like, what is happening?
I've never wanted to be in a fisherman's boat more than I do right now.
I don't think he's saying or thinking much at that point. Those were lifeless eyes.
Lifeless.
Oh, look at that jump.
That's what's known as a feeding frenzy for sure.
That guy just standing there like, what do I do? Like, keep your hands inside the boat.
I turn the motor on and get the heck out of there. Cut the line and run, because this is the last time. You don't want something pulling you in there.
As far as trick shot videos go, it takes a lot to impress me. We've seen a lot on this show, but I love this.
Zach Smith, long snapping mixtape.
This is one of the underappreciated aspects of the football game, long snapping, right? These guys are important members of the team, and Zach Smith is one of the best in high school right now. He's a senior at Menlo School in Atherton, California, and this is basically a mixtape of all these crazy long snapping tricks. This is what he calls the library trash can shot. Watch how far away he is, and he's doing this through his legs. Whoa! Nails that right in the garbage can, and he's just getting started. There's a lot of awesome tricks. Here's a water bottle off his friend's hand as his friend is moving on a skateboard. And look at how hard he's throwing this ball through his legs. Here he goes, 10 yards, then 15 yards, then 20 yards, right into that trash can. No surprise that Zach is committed to USC next year to play football as a long snapper. So obviously his skills have been noticed by a lot of people. This one is awesome. Watch this.
No way!
And that was almost a junk shot. Boom, nails it.
Holy
Zach's got
moly.
some skills.
That is pretty impressive. These folks don't mind a little flooding
because it's created a perfect rolling wave to enjoy some surfing.
This guy's so good, he was like having a conversation with people on the bank.
Surf's up at the riverbank. Next.
Katie's a border collie. Her owner, YouTube poster Paul Curley, said, you know what? I'm running out of stuff to teach this dog, so he's teaching her to play softball.
She took a lead off first. I like that.
But he reminded her, you have to touch the base, so now she's running the second.
Touch second base.
Get there, get there, get there.
Oh, right on it.
Good girl. Touch third base. Atta girl, touch it.
She puts her nose and just lays right on down.
All right, come on home.
After she went to third base, not satisfied, so
She made it all the way home.
Yeah, woohoo!
That's a smart dog. Border Collies, they're fun dogs to train, and this just showcases what they're capable of.
I love the fact that he's taught her so much stuff. He's like, I gotta find something else for her to do. Okay, baseball.
Good girl.
Let's see if she can scoop some grounders next.
You know who could use her? The Miami Marlins.
Yeah, woohoo!
To give you an idea of the scope of flooding, these heavy rains have affected much of Central Europe. Look at these cruise ships parked right next to these residential areas.
This is terrible. I mean, these cities are flooded all the way almost to the center of the city.
Tens of thousands of people have had to be evacuated. Pretty bad. These people making the best of a bad situation in Switzerland. Lots of heavy rains have flooded this river, but the guys don't seem to mind because it's created a perfect rolling wave to enjoy some surfing on.
This drew quite a crowd.
A lot of people showed up to watch and to surf. There's tons of debris that's flowing through these heavy floodwaters. I'm thinking one of these guys will get taken out by a log or something, but a couple of these guys jump in and don't really have a great ride, but some of these guys really pull this off beautifully.
And you can tell how flooded this river is because look at how far it goes up on the bank.
This guy is a pro. He stays up for a while, just looking like he's done this since the day he was born.
Actually looks like a surfing ninja.
Yeah.
Kayakers also getting in on the action. You see this guy's got one of those real short sport kayaks. He comes down, gets in position, and poof, sits there and also paddles and rides this wave just like the surfers do.
He's getting bounced all over the place.
He's doing some of this stuff intentionally, pulling tricks.
So Eric Yu and his wife decided to enter their dog into a funny puppy contest, so they did a video. It's a gorgeous Great Dane by the name of Philippe.
He's huge.
Yeah.
He's bigger than the table. You see that?
Vacuuming, he's cleaning the wood surfaces, he's doing the dishes.
This is the kind of dog I'd like to have.
That was a good dog. So they decided to share this video with their family members, except there's a surprise. The video goes from the dog to saying, this video is to show that I can be a clean, responsible big brother. And then it shows a picture of an ultrasound. You're not even gonna make me cry. What an awesome way to make this announcement. Isn't it cool? Baby due October 2013.
I wonder how Philippe feels though, because I mean, he was the star of this video.
Right.
That's our show, everybody. We'll see you next time. Hi, everybody. I'm Beth Troutman. Let's take a look at the best videos the web has to offer right this minute.
Anybody else inside?
A man helps a woman from a wrecked car, but things take a turn for the weird when she
starts to run down the highway ramp.
The story of how officers tracked her down under a tree.
If your hands on your back, your head.
A bus rider gets mad at some schoolboys and listen to her language.
Get a passport, right?
See why she's just getting started.
Sit the down.
I think a whole bunch of sailors just closed their eyes and covered their ears.
Baby won't go to bed? Now one dad swears by
the Oompa Loompa method.
Oompa Loompa, Oompa Loompa.
Why this may be the real sleeper hold. And you might be a redneck if you tie an old car to a tree
and just start yanking.
See just how many tries to take that tree down.
News photographer in the right place at the right time happened to catch an accident scene. This woman rolled her Nissan SUV over. You can see it on the other side of the guardrail. Whoa. The guy there with the striped shirt used a crowbar to help her out.
Anybody else inside?
He was just a good Samaritan that happened to be nearby when this accident happened.
Oh, this poor girl, her shirt's all out of place too. You can imagine how disoriented she feels at this point.
The photographer from our friends at 10 News in San Diego is Paul Anderegg, and he got this entire weird scenario on camera. You see the woman doesn't appear to be hurt, and she approaches this white Mercedes. 10 News reports the woman and the guy driving that white Mercedes there, they seem to know each other. She gets out of the Mercedes and starts to run down the highway ramp.
Wait, she starts running down
the
highway?
She's like, I'm out of here. The photographer, Paul Anderegg, is on the phone with police.
I'm chasing your victim. She's running westbound down the right shoulder.
Now he's part of a police search operation because she dips into an empty canal.
Up there where that dark patch is, she went left.
Officers did eventually catch up with who they say is 30-year-old Rosa Garcia.
Hey!
My man was
driving!
My man was
Let me see your hand!
My man was
driving! Turn around!
She keeps repeating, my mom was driving.
My man was driving!
If your hands on your back, your head!
My man was was driving. Was she drinking? Why was she freaking out?
Police did arrest and booked Garcia under suspicion of DUI charges and a violation of court probation.
And even if mom was driving, why would you run away?
A disturbing scene was captured on a city bus in Sydney, Australia. Take a look at this.
Sit the down. Or she agrees with me. Sit down, bro.
What you're seeing is an altercation between this 50-year-old woman and these two Asian schoolboys. Now, according to reports, they are standing on this city bus because they are carrying some equipment that is fragile, that is in some boxes. They have them sitting on the seat so that they don't fall.
Are they able to stand in the bus?
It's fine to stand on a city bus, but this woman seems to have a problem because they are blocking her view.
Sit the down. No. Of course not. Get a passport, bro.
First of all, who died and made this lady commissioner of the bus?
Then her words become racist.
I'm born here. I know what I'm doing. Well, do the right thing and sit down. No one can see where they're going, especially when I'm drunk. I know you don't care because you're a
Her drinking problem is known to people not just in Australia, but all over the world.
No, they can't, because they got the big asses out of the joint.
The incident gets so disturbing, the bus driver has to stop the bus. He comes back and tries to quiet the woman. The one student who was most involved does start using some obscene gestures, and when he does, listen to her language.
Yeah, stick up your mum's. Stick your finger up your mother's.
I think a whole bunch of sailors just closed their eyes and covered their ears.
This is in China. As you can see, this river is flowing quite turbulently. That truck is stuck on a bridge, but it can't go anywhere. So firefighters came to rescue the driver of that truck.
What was that? They shot like ropes out of like a slingshot kind of thing.
He was able to secure it, tie it to the truck, and then look at what they're doing with the other end of the rope. They're just tying a knot to the waist of one of the firefighters.
No.
Yep. It gets better because then they use this big crane and they hook the crane to the knot on the firefighter.
Oh, to get him over there.
They then tie a knot around the driver of that truck. And before you know it, they're both being pulled back to safety, dangling, of course, but they're safe.
Oh, he's just like holding him by the back of his pants. He's like giving him a wedgie, taking him across the river.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's okay, but that's kind of an embarrassing rescue.
Like, way to go, rescuers, but
They figured it out.
Wow.
And they had to do it quickly.
16 surveillance cameras, a neighbor helping police out, and they still weren't able to catch a fish thief. This happened at a pet shop in Australia. You see the suspect walking by the front window, then he goes to the side and eventually breaks in through a side door. Once he's inside the store, he starts stuffing fish into some plastic bags.
Are you stealing like exotic fish?
Yeah, very exotic fish because the guy ended up getting away with nearly $15,000 worth of fish and accessories. According to 7 News in Australia, the owner called the police while this whole thing was going on, and then a neighbor reported to police, hey, there's something going on next door, and then this neighbor even helped police out.
They were actually looking around with torches. We went around the back of the premises and had a look over through the side there, and there was nothing that we could see.
So he slipped through their dragnet, so to speak, like a fish.
a guy spots an overturned garbage truck on the highway, so he runs over to help.
When the guy gets there with his camera, a couple other guys are just standing around looking at the driver.
How this man took matters into his own hands to get the driver out. Plus, Fred shows us how he tells his raven friend it's feeding time.
Come on, let's go have some food.
Fred even makes some raven noises at his old buddy Falstaff, and then watch this.
Atta boy.
The story behind the BFFs and their special bond, next. It's time for Best of RTM. Once again, that means we're going to tell you about a bonus video that you can find on our website.
Roman Atwood and his buddy Dennis Rohde are back, and this time they're walking around a beach. They've got this thing that looks like a pet skunk.
Oh, go in the water. He just sprayed you. Go in the water.
A good way to ruin somebody's day at the beach, but I think in the end they all know it's a prank.
To check this one out, all you have to do is head over to our website, rightthisminute.com, and click on Best of RTM, or
you can watch it on our mobile app.
To San Francisco, where there's a big bike gathering happening, a guy's got a camera facing backwards, and he caught an incident that might make you go, oh man, come on. See this guy coming up all the way on the left? He's trying to scoop by, but the guy in the blue jacket doesn't see him coming. He gets dumped off his bike, and the guy who seemed to cause the accident keeps going.
That is not appropriate bike behavior. It's like his bike buddy.
It's an accident, but you still go and check on the guy. That's all. Just say, hey, you all right, man? He's probably fine. It's the thought to just go back and check on him.
Another accident, this one on a highway in California. You see, that's a garbage truck that is overturned. The guy we're riding with grabs his camera, pulls over, and gets out to help. He runs back to the garbage truck. The driver appears to be uninjured, but when the guy gets there with his camera, a couple other guys are just standing around looking at the driver, not really doing anything, until the guy with the camera jumps in and lends a hand.
You okay? Come on, come on. Come on, man.
Guy with the camera reaches up, grabs his hand, helps the driver out of the cab. Looks like he's okay, but he was definitely shaken up and needed a little bit of help to get out.
Yeah, you could tell the guy was reaching for help. He was kind of like waving at the guy, like, hey, somebody give me a hand here.
Yeah.
How nice of this fella with the camera. I mean, he really got out. You could hear the concern in his voice, like, hey man, are you okay? Helped the guy out.
Crazy, yo.
Oh, and we see the hero.
Good helping out.
Come on, come on.
For parents of infants, having some sort of a trick on how to get their babies to fall asleep faster is paramount. Here's one that you would never have expected. It's called the Oompa Loompa method.
Oompa Loompa, Oompa Loompa, Oompa Loompa.
Dad has his 3-week-old daughter. She's clearly awake, and then he starts doing this. At first I was like, but look at what happens. Before you know it, little daughter is dozing off. He does say in the video they found this method by accident. And apparently it works almost every single time. The baby needs to go to sleep but won't. There's a theory that maybe it works because the resembles the heartbeat.
I feel like I should try it on you. Oompa Loompa, Oompa Loompa. I can't pick your whole body up.
That worked on you too.
I think I've found some nominees for BFFs of the year 2013, and they are...
Beth Trautman and Christian Vera.
Woo! No, not at all. Falstaff the Raven and his buddy Fred from Prince George, British Columbia, Canada.
Come on, let's go have some food.
This is Fred behind the lens. Fred even makes some raven noises at his old buddy Falstaff, and then watch this.
Come on.
Falstaff says, oh yeah, we're gonna go get some lunch together? Okay, cool, I'll follow you. No big deal. You can see, now he gets really excited.
You looking for some food? Just wait.
Falstaff was the only raven to survive a storm in which a nest fell and all his brothers and sisters died. Falstaff was the only one who made it. And watch this, here he is hopping along, following Fred, back to the little area where Fred's got this cool contraption to feed Falstaff. Fred even does a little raven conversation.
Coming?
He's got that down pat too. That's a pretty darn good raven call.
Best friends, sometimes they start sounding like each other.
That's true.
Hola.
I've been fixing to get ready for work.
Needs a little work. Falstaff knows where he's going, climbs up this little branch. He's got a little set of stairs there that apparently Fred made for him. Gets up there, and then Fred's got some food, looks like raw meat or something.
There you go, all in the dish for you. Okay, that a boy.
Perfect little meal prepared for your best friend. And look at this, even at the end.
Are you happy? Yes.
Fred gets a little, pet. Pets his buddy. Give him a little pat.
Good boy.
He's up in space and going for a bear look.
So he's going to show us how to shave his head.
See what this astronaut uses to get the job done. And a biker gets a surprise on the whoop-de-doo trail. Whoop-de-doo! But what he does is a big whoop-de-don't.
this show, we know that animals can get themselves in some pretty precarious situations. First up, we've got a cow with his head stuck in a tree. This is in England. No word on how this cow got his head stuck in this tree, but as you can see, there's a big hollowed out area in the tree. A good Samaritan spotted the cow with its head stuck in the tree. The fire department was called, and look at this. They decided, all right, we're gonna tie these harnesses around the cow's body. We're gonna hook those harnesses to a crane. They physically lifted the cow up and then pulled the cow's head out of the hole. Now, this next video was shot in Canada. You've got a guy riding on a bike lost on the whoop-de-doo trail. Whoop-de-doo! As this guy's riding his mountain bike, the animal ends up in kind of a precarious situation. It's a giant black bear. Just as the bike's rounding the corner, the black bear jumps right out in front of the bike and runs full speed.
I think he wanted to race. He was sitting there waiting, and then when the bike got close, he jumped out there and said, all right, let's do this. Me versus you.
And Bear clearly wins this one because Biker's smart. Biker slows down. Is like, you know what? I think I'm just going to let this bear get a head start.
Right.
The last video I've got here was shot in the Dudley Zoo in the UK. This otter is juggling.
Yeah, what was it, like a little shell or something?
There's rocks.
You've got a couple, and they're just kind of like balancing them around and swirling them around as if he's magic.
And you're right, he's throwing it from one arm to the other, and it falls like at his armpits, and then he picks them up, and then he does it again.
And they're circling, almost like they're hovering over his body, just kind of laying there on his back, just keeping himself occupied.
I didn't say.
What's happening?
What are you laughing at?
Apparently, when someone starts giggling, it's contagious.
Oh, that works. I was thinking, I just want to know what's so funny, which made me start thinking of funny things, and then you start laughing because you're thinking of funny things because you're like, they're thinking of funny things. I'm going to think of some funny things.
It's probably what happened here too. That man with the black glasses and blonde hair just walks up, and as you can see, everybody is very seriously minding their own business on their iPads, drinking their water, watching what's happening down the street. First, the Steven looks start. You know, the what is wrong with him? But he keeps laughing, and soon enough, people start grinning, and then... and then it just becomes uncontrollable laughter. This is put together by Rituals Cosmetics to promote the Laughing Buddha collection, which says, when you smile to the world smiles back, and it's true. The cool thing about this is that they also launched a contest, so they're asking people to submit photos that make them smile or laugh. Whoever wins, when it's over, is gonna get like a Laughing Buddha collection. If you want the link to the contest, just go to rightthisminute.com.
Cat tries to file.
Astronaut Chris Hadfield is back on terra firma. But we have to get to know this Chris because we know Chris Hadfield pretty well, but this Chris is new. He's American. He is astronaut Chris Cassidy, and he says, you know what? Luca Parmitano is going to come to the space station, and you know what? I need to fix myself up for it. So he's going to show us how you can shave your head in space.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and give the full-on Luca Parmitano look for the hatch opening ceremony. We have your standard hair trimmer, but the hair would go all over the place. So we need to connect it to our vacuum cleaner.
It's so funny that a guy is going through all this to welcome another guy aboard the International Space Station. I guess, you know, little things like this make it fun.
I think he just wanted to make a cool video, and he just found an excuse to make a cool space video.
Stop there, dude. Give yourself a space station mohawk.
What do you think so far? Should I stop here? I don't think so.
So this isn't to impress Luca. This is to kind of pay homage to Luca. So like, you've got a bald head, I'm gonna have a bald head to welcome you aboard. It's not like, hey, I want to look good. It's like, hey, I want to say we're bros.
Yeah, well, they're astronaut bros. It's an exclusive club, not that many people in it.
They're brostronauts.
The full-on Luca Parmitano, ready for my new crewmates. So thanks for coming to Chris's Barbershop. Next up is docking of my new crewmates.
some raven nestlings enjoy a little snack.
Ooh. But there's an amazing story behind these two little creatures.
Why these baby birds are lucky to be alive.
Another day, another extreme sports enthusiast taking advantage of floodwaters, this time because of the flooding in Germany and Central Europe. You gotta make the best of it, and Ari Blahnik is a wakeboarder. He did just that. Watch this. Ari comes in from the left of screen on a mountain bike, gets delivered his wakeboard, then comes up here into this shallow water, able to lock in his feet to the board, then picks up the rope and starts getting towed through the street. This isn't an overflowing river. This is like the gutter on the side of the road. Watch this. One hand flipping around. Ari obviously knows what he's doing.
A narrow pathway, and he's got amazing control.
You see right there, he even puts the handle around his back, doing a little 360 move.
Hope there's no concrete drainage tunnels or anything under there that he can't see.
Yeah, I think it looks like maybe they've mapped out the run a little bit, because at the end, Ari kind of knows where to stop, because you can see after his final trick, he pulls up, goes off a little bit of a jump, and then lands like up here on this hillside in the grass where the flooding canal kind of stops.
If Edgar Allan Poe was introducing this video, he would say, quote the raven, feed me more.
Oh, his little raven babies.
Ooh. Those are actually raven nestlings, but there's an amazing story behind these two little creatures. These nestlings were in a tree. A big, strong windstorm hit the town where they were. It knocked the tree down, but miraculously, these birds survived. The person who is feeding them says she's fed birds before and raised them by hand, so this was nothing new for her to help out. And as you can see there, they are hand-fed, and you don't just like put something on the tip of your finger, you gotta stick your finger way into their beaks.
No, they don't hurt. You think they would, but they don't actually. They're very gentle.
That's so awesome, and look at how hungry they are. They keep coming back with these giant, wide open, like puppet mouths.
Quite a glutton.
Meanwhile, in South Dakota, this is at Bear Country, USA, near Rapid City. You can see there is a bear, but if you notice, those are 3 wolves with them, and they are not getting along.
Dang, that is risky.
If you look, you've got these 3 wolves. They're kind of surrounding this bear, and you know what? I don't think they're any match for this bear.
That's a big blackbird, too. It's not a little one.
But nothing happens. The bear just kind of meanders away, but you could see the wolves, I mean, they were hunting in a pack.
He's defeated.
What the heck is going on here?
Talk about using the wrong tool for the job. Apparently, the guys down at the end of the block are trying to tear down this entire tree. Now, instead of using a chainsaw, they decided to tie up an old clunker and just start yanking.
That is never gonna work.
It doesn't work, Steven.
No.
But it's quite entertaining for the neighbor to watch these guys try over and over again.
They do this more than once?
Oh, absolutely. And you even hear the guys down the block go, back up, do it again, back up, do it again.
If they do get it down, it's going to fall on top of the car.
Or maybe that car.
Or a person.
We don't actually see the limb coming down, but the uploader describes them as eventually using a chainsaw and a truck to bring down the tree.
They're gonna be the victims of like many deaths.
This is a bad idea from so many different angles.
That's gonna do it for us here at Right This Minute. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.